This is Felonious Bitcoin here. This video is probably going to be one of the most important videos I make to date. There's a lot of things that are outlined in this going back to the year 2010 that pretty much foretold what was going to be happening today. So I think it's very important for you guys to share this video, for you guys to download it before it gets deleted or shadow banned. Before I get started, I want to make that clear that this video might and will most likely be shadow banned for the content that I'm about to share with you guys. So this video is going to be about scenarios for the future of technology and international development. It was created by the Rockefeller Foundation in May of 2010, and it was produced by the Rockefeller Foundation and Global Business Network. I'm going to skip ahead here to one of the more important pages of it, but I'm going to link you guys down below where you guys can actually download the PDF and read it for yourselves. That way you can get a better understanding, and you can share this with other people, so that way you wake people up to what's really going on here. So I'm going to skip to page 18, okay? And on page 18, outlines a lot of things that are happening today. So let me just get to it. It's titled Scenario Narratives. It says lockstep, a world of tighter top-down government control and more authoritarian leadership with limited innovation and growing citizen pushback. In 2012, the pandemic that the world had been anticipating for years finally hit. Unlike 2009's H1N1, this new influenza strain originating from wild geese was extremely virulent and deadly. Even the most pandemic-prepared nations were quickly overwhelmed when the virus streaked around the world, infecting nearly 20% of the global population and killing 8 million in just 7 months. The majority of them healthy young adults. The pandemic also had a deadly effect on economies. International mobility of both people and goods screeched to a halt, debilitating industries like tourism and breaking global supply chains. Even locally, normally bustling shops and office buildings sat empty for months, devoid of both employees and customers. The pandemic blanketed the planet. Though disproportionate numbers died in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Central America, where the virus spread like wildfire in the absence of official containment protocols. But even in developed countries, containment was a challenge. The United States' initial policy of strongly discouraging citizens from flying proved deadly in its leniency. Accelerating the spread of the virus was not just within the U.S., but across borders. However, a few countries did fare better, China in particular. The Chinese government's quick imposition and enforcement of mandatory quarantine for all citizens, as well as its instant and near hermetic sealing off of all borders, saved millions of lives, stopping the spread of the virus far earlier than in any other countries and enabling a swifter post-pandemic recovery. I think that the United States is going to be looking at the Chinese for their top-down model, because they do so much better at it over there. So it seems like, this was all written in 2010, guys. So obviously somebody took a page right out of the playbook here, So I'm going to just continue on so you guys can get the full idea here of what's really going on. China's government was not the only one that took extreme measures to protect its citizens from risk and exposure. During the pandemic, national leaders around the world flexed their authority and imposed airtight rules and restrictions. From the mandatory wearing of face masks to body temperature checks at the entries to communal spaces like train stations and supermarkets. Even after the pandemic faded, this more authoritarian control and oversight of citizens and their activities struck and even intensified. In order to protect themselves from the spread of increasingly global problems, from pandemics and transnational terrorism to environmental crises and rising poverty, leaders around the world took a firmer grip on power. As they collapse this economy, you can count on them taking a much tighter hold on that authoritarian stance, because, as history demonstrates, it's happening again. At first, the notion of a more controlled world gained wide acceptance and approval. Citizens willingly gave up some of their sovereignty and their privacy to more paternalistic states in exchange for greater safety and stability. And that's something that the founding fathers warned against, was that if you're willing to give up even a little bit of security for some safety, you deserve neither security nor safety. So that's what's happening today, guys, is we're losing everything if we allow this to happen. Citizens were more tolerant and even eager for top-down direction and oversight, and national leaders had more latitude to impose in the ways they saw fit. In developed countries, this heightened oversight took many forms. Biometric IDs for all citizens, for example, and tighter regulation of key industries whose stability was deemed vital to national interests. In many developed countries, enforced cooperation with a suite of new regulations and agreements slowly but steadily restored both order and, importantly, economic growth. I believe that this is just the government's way to have more control over everything. Across the developing world, however, the story was different and much more variable. Top-down authority took different forms in different countries, hinging largely on the capacity, caliber, and intentions of their leaders. In countries with strong and thoughtful leaders, citizens' overall economic status and quality of life increased. In India, for example, air quality drastically improved after 2016 when the government outlawed high-emitting vehicles. In Ghana, the introduction of ambitious government programs to improve basic infrastructure and ensure the availability of clean water for all her people led to a sharp decline in waterborne diseases. But more authoritarian leadership worked less well, and in some cases tragically, in countries run by irresponsible elites who use their increased power to pursue their own interests at the expenses of their citizens. All right, guys, I hope you all enjoy my content today. If you can, please download this video, like this video, subscribe to this video, share it, blast it all over your social media. This pretty much foretold back in 2010 what was going to be happening today. How would they know unless they had planned it? So guys, this just adds more fuel to the fire for the truth to get out and to spread, like this supposed virus. Let's spread this information. That way we wake people up and we start a new society where things can be better. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys. Please comment down in the comment section what you guys think about this video. I'm also going to link you guys to the actual PDF so that way you can download it, go through it for yourselves, read everything, and come to your own conclusions. I appreciate the hell out of you guys and have a great day. Take care.